Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas. Today I'm gonna show you 10 page ideas to try in 2021 in your bullet journal. These pages are all super easy to set up and most of them are quarantine related because we are still going through hard times, and I truly think that journaling and writing things down can help a lot, so I'm sharing with you some pages to try for next year. So the first page that I want to share with you is the monthly review. I used to do this page back when I started bullet journaling in 2017, and it's basically a page where you have the 12 months of the year and you write a brief review at the end of the month to document how the month went and how you felt. I set up the pages for 12 months, but you can do just 6 or 3 depending on how much space you want to have to write down your review of the month. This is an interesting spread because over time you can see how you felt and hopefully see how your life changed and your growth and self-improvement. For each page in this video, I'm doing a different theme in each of them and using stickers, so you can also take inspiration on that for your spreads and not just focus on the layout. For the titles, I'm using my Pentel Footed Touch Pens, and for the rest of the pages, I'm using my Tomo Dual Brush Pens and Ohuhu water markers. And the shops where the stickers are from are linked in the description down below. The next page is a journaling page all about how the year went. I did a quick 2020 reflection page with different prompts to write about as a way to prepare myself for the new year coming up. This page was inspired by this page I saw on Pinterest, but I changed the headers a little bit to fit my needs. I have a space to write down what I am at this moment, what I can do, how I'm feeling right now at the end of the year, and what I will do next year. And speaking of next year, my new bullet journal setup for 2021 is coming up on Sunday, so you have this video full of ideas of pages to try in 2020, but you can wait for my 2021 bullet journal setup to have even more inspiration for your bullet journal for the new year. If you're not a journaling person and you just don't like to write your feelings out on paper, or you have a hard time doing that, this spread is great because you can just make a list below the different prompts and it works the same way. I used some stickers with cute faces for the page to match with the theme, and by the way, like I mentioned, all the supplies I used and stickers are linked down below. To go along with the previous page, you have here the Dear Future Me page. This spread is similar to the 2020 reflection page, but in this layout you can actually journal and write your thoughts down. I decided to have 2 sections, one for how I'm feeling at the end of 2020 and another for what I'm hoping for in 2021. End of the year reflection feels really good because I feel like throughout the year we don't really reflect on the months that passed or what we did, so we better pay attention to and reflect on what we did throughout the year and prepare ourselves for the next one. So in this video, I wanted to include a page that was more focused on social interactions, even though we can't really go out and spend time with other people because of social distancing, but maybe we should keep track of the little interactions we have to make sure we are still connected with our friends and family. So I did this yearly tracker, so I have a square for each day of the year, and on the side I will have a legend for the different friends I have and for the interactions we have throughout the year. I have a different color for each friend and a different symbol for each interaction. And the ones I added were a Zoom call, a Netflix party, if we had a deep talk on the phone or on the Zoom call, or if we took a walk around the block. With this legend and color code, you can easily see on your tracker if you're connecting with your friends often and with each friend you're connecting the most with. You can add here your family, of course, and other things that you count as interactions. To complete the previous page, I decided to add here a memories page, a page where you can keep track of your memories and the things you did with your friends and family during quarantine. Keeping track of your memories and accomplishments, it's very important for self-growth, and I think now we don't really create memories because we can't leave the house, so writing down the little memories we have, it's super important. Here you just have a space for the day of the memory entry with who you made that memory with and what the memory actually was. You can also have this and then journal about your memory to remember it. I think that doing that would help a lot, and it's a good exercise to just keep in mind what you did and that all days in quarantine are not all bad days. The next page is more of an informative one. I decided to include here an emergency spread for the bad days in quarantine. We should keep track and journal about the good days, but we need to take care of ourselves on the bad ones, and that's when this emergency spread comes in. Here I wrote down things that I like to do and that makes me feel better on a bad day, so when I'm having a bad day I can just flip through this page and choose which things I want to do from this spread. Because I don't know about you, but when I have a bad day I seem to forget the things that can make me feel better and that I should do to just overcome this bad day. But I feel so bad and I keep thinking about what happened that I just never remember what I should do on a bad day. So now I just need to look at this page and decide what I want to do to make me feel better and do it. Let me know what makes you feel better on a bad day in the comments down below so we can help each other and give each other hope for quarantine and share what makes us feel better, because these are the things that make me feel better, but I really want to know what makes you guys feel better and how do you cope with a bad day. If you don't want to journal about your thoughts and your good or bad days, maybe you can journal and keep track of the things you're checking out in quarantine. This is the currently spread by Aston Plans on Instagram. I did this page in my own bullet journal a couple of times. I think it was July and August of this year. And it's really interesting because you can have a space to write the things you're loving this month or trying this month, what you're currently watching, listening to, eating, or reading, or whatever you're doing. This page is really interesting. Ashton actually tracks more things in her spread, so I will leave her post down below for you to check it out on Instagram. This page is really interesting, like I mentioned, because you can look back at your journal and see the things you were checking and loving and watching and reading about on that particular month during quarantine. And because I do like monthly favorites videos on my channel, it's really handy to have this page, and I don't do it right now, but when I did it, it was really helpful and I really enjoyed it. Next is a habit tracker, but not just a normal monthly habit tracker. This tracker here in specific is for you to track how many days on that month you did that habit and compare the months of the year so you can have an overview of when you did that habit the most. I hope this makes sense, and I also did something similar to this when I first started bullet journaling, and for me this page, it was a way of tracking how many days I did that specific habit, and see if next month I wanted to do more or do the same amount of days. So at the top I have all the months of the year, and on the side the habits or things that I want to track yearly, like how many days in January I worked out and compare it with February and so on. And you can also track here how many good days you had in each month and compare it with other months, and it's just basically for you to have a huge overview of your habits and the things you want to do more each month, and to actually know how many days on that month you did that. So that page is really helpful in quarantine, so you keep track of your habits and you kind of have an overview of what's happening and how many days you're doing that habit. I also wanted to include here a daily review of your day. Sometimes the day went great and we don't even acknowledge that, so having a daily review page in your journal can make the journaling a bit easier. I wouldn't necessarily do this page every single day, maybe just on the good days or bad days that I had, so I could journal about them a little bit. And instead of just a plain white page, I added some questions so it's easier to journal about, because you're answering them and you're just not writing your feelings down randomly. Here I have a section to describe how was today, another to describe how I felt today and write a bit more in depth about my feelings, and another to reflect on how today could have been different. I think these questions make journaling a bit easier, especially if you don't like to journal or just can't stick with the habit. And finally, the last page is a checklist. Having a checklist for your day is crucial, but I didn't want to add in this video a productivity page because I know that it's hard to be productive if you're not at peace, especially in quarantine when you're self-isolating and you can't leave your house and can't interact with anyone. So I left the productivity pages aside, but I did this daily checklist spread so you don't forget to do the things that can make you feel better while in quarantine. And those were all the 10 pages that you can try while you're stuck at home. And for next year, I'm pretty sure we are going to still be in quarantine for the majority of 2021, but we don't know. So leave a house emoji if you watched until this point. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode of Vlogmas. Bye guys!